What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I am opening up, as you can see, a new massage gun, and I'm kind of excited about it because my shoulder has been acting up like crazy. A lot of people were really sweet with the comments on my Fittest of the Coast videos. You could tell something was wrong. I'm still all taped up. It's like lat and shoulder and tricep, and I use a massage gun often as part of my recovery and as part of my prep to get into a workout. I guess I'm team no days off. I hate taking days off. I am team rest the muscles that are hurting to an extent. So one of the things that kind of keeps me mobile and keeps me able to keep training through injuries or irritants in my body is a massage gun, among many things. So I just got a new one in. It is by Bob & Brad, and the packaging is actually really cute, and it is a USB charge. So I'm gonna get this thing plugged in, and I'm gonna show you guys some of the techniques that I use to keep my shoulder, tricep, delt, all the things mobile and keep blood flowing to the area. So I tell my clients this all the time: when you have an injury, it's only like a real injury when you can't use it anymore, when it's too painful to use. And yes, my shoulder area is very irritated, but the more blood flow I keep going to it, I roll it out, I tape it, I use a massage gun on it, and all these things help blood flow to the area, which helps in turn to heal the muscle. So I'm going to show you kind of my daily routine on what I'm doing to keep my arm mobile, because I have Fittest of South Carolina coming up and I am not backing down from the challenge. So let's get this thing charged and I'll show you how to use it. Okay, so I got the massage gun charged, and it's not 100% charged, but I left it like that for a reason. What I wanted to show you was when I turn on the massage gun, it actually shows you how charged it is. So you can see 3 of the dots are lit up. When the 4th one's lit up, that means it's 100% charged. So I thought that was kind of nice. It's nice to know, like if I'm leaving the house and heading to the gym and I throw this in my bag, it's nice to know, like, oh, it's 75% charged. I know it's gonna last me a while. Whereas if it only is 25% charged, maybe I leave it home and I charge it, or I give myself a little bit extra time in the morning. So I like that it's telling me how charged it is. In order to get this thing started, right now I have this little fork-like attachment on. So the reason I put this one on first is because I usually hit the smaller muscles, like my tricep and my bicep, before I go into my shoulder. I kind of like ease into everything. I usually start far away and kind of move my way in, because any kind of damage that's in there, I hate using those words, anything closer to the shoulder is where things start to hurt a little bit more. I do feel a lot of tension and tightness in my tricep and my bicep, so I usually start there and work my way up to the shoulder. So I do have this attachment on first, and I do change it as I go. But in order to get this thing turned on, I hit that main switch and just hold. You can see that there's only one light up there, and every time I hit it, the intensity gets ramped up until I hit the full extent, and you can see it's going crazy, and then it shuts off. So I'm gonna start off nice and low, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean by that. Okay, so we are gonna get started on this. And for this, I'm just leaving it, like I said, at a setting of a level 1. And I usually leave my arm extended, and I come into it and just kind of trace the bicep. That's where I typically start. You can actually see a little bit of bruise where I've hit a little bit too hard. So you don't want to ramp up the intensity unless you're actually prepared for it. When I do this also, guys, I'm not pushing down ridiculously hard. I'm like barely holding on. I'm just letting it kind of trace the muscle gently. I just want to get blood flowing to the area right now. You can actually see, if you look close, that I'm actually hugging the muscle with the fork attachment. So I'm kind of hitting the outside of it. But again, very gentle, nothing crazy. This should never hurt. This is kind of where it starts to give me some pain as I get closer to that delt. The reason I'm kind of moving my arm around is because I try and keep the muscle nice and loose also. Think about like when you go to get a massage and the masseuse hits an area that's more tender and then like you give it a big flex and she can't get into it. Then the massage is not doing its job. It's the same thing with this. If I was to like hold a real tight like tricep and just like flex, it's not doing anything. My muscles are playing defense, if you will. So if I keep it nice and loose, the massage gun is able to kind of get in there and do its thing, loosen everything up. It's actually like gets to the point where like it stops feeling tender, and that's when I know that for me, I'm gonna move on a little bit. This actually feels like all really good right now. And then when I hold down the button, it doesn't have to go through all the speeds. If I just hold it down, it shuts off and I can switch my attachment. So I'm gonna pull this one off. And then I really like, I'm gonna show you guys. Because my shoulder's been acting up so badly lately, it's the air cushion. So I'm gonna shoot this one on. Nice and tight. But you can actually see there's give to this. This is one of the very few massage guns that I've seen that actually has an attachment with give, other than their big your ball head, which is like, this one's pretty standard in all machines, right? This is the one like when you go to like the chiropractor, this is the one that they're gonna use. It's very common, it's soft, but this one I like a lot because it has a cushion and it does allow you to get into the muscle a little bit more without irritating things. So this I'm going to kind of go into the neck. Reason being, my shoulder's what's hurting, right? So all of this, my front delt, my rear delt comes through in here, and then I get a little bit of trap issues. So what I do then is I kind of come in through the neck gently, and I'm trying to like loosen everything up as it gets into the area that's directly affected by whatever injury that I have going on. All of the little things that I do to help blood flow and help mobility seems to make the injury more sustainable. So like this morning I went to the gym and I actually did snatches, and yes, there's kind of an area where I could get to that it's particularly aggravated, but I just backed down. Like I was doing hang snatches and it irritated me and I was having a hard time with the pull, which is why my lat is taped up right now. But I was able to do power snatches, I was able to do snatch pulls, and all that was fine. So to me, I had to back away from the movement that was irritating me, but everything else felt okay, so there's no reason to stop training. Like I don't think I have anything serious going on. I know that I have to baby things a little bit and take care of myself, but truthfully, we should all always be taking care of ourselves and not necessarily wait for an injury to pop up. The other nice thing about this particular tool, because there's so much give, when you go over something like when I came down, you could probably hear that I went over the muscle or the bone a little bit. It didn't hurt. Like it's gentle. So now I'm getting kind of into like the pec, and I usually start outside and kind of push in. Again, guys, there's no like right or wrong way to do this. The big thing you want to be conscious of is that while you're doing something like this or any kind of muscle work, that you're not experiencing any kind of pain. So if this was giving me any kind of pain, I would back it off. I would change heads. Sometimes it's better to just walk away, pop a couple Motrin, that kind of thing. But right now, I'm actually able to hit my shoulder. This is actually quicker than normal, which is probably a good thing. But I'm actually able to hit like right, like this front delt area is where I hold so much pain. And I'm able with this head in particular to just get in there. Now there are more aggressive heads to a massage gun. This is like a trigger point type head. it's like a harder plastic. If my shoulder was feeling better, I could use that, kind of get into like the trap area, but it's not. So I'm going to go with this kind of motion and just be happy that I'm able to get in there today. Because there are days that I cannot get in there. So I'm really happy with this progress today. It's actually allowing me to get down the bicep even a little bit more. Okay, so another thing that I do, kind of the last thing I'm going to show you guys today, I'm a big supporter of anything active release. And no, I cannot do active release on myself. However, there's a feeling that you get in your muscles when you're moving and treating them at the same time. So though it may not be like active release technique, I know that while I'm moving my muscles, they tend to feel better. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that, just so you get an idea of like, again, this is not a medical protocol. This is just what I do with my massage gun, typically before and after training, especially when I'm doing something like snatches or handstand walks or muscle ups, that kind of stuff, things that are going to be heavy shoulder intense. Because I'm dealing with this stupid injury, I feel like getting blood flowing to the area and constantly manipulating the muscle groups is going to help it to get better and be more sustainable. So let me show you guys a little bit about what I mean by active release or moving while I use the massage gun. So I'm going to come back here and I'm just going to move my arm. Okay, so like I said, this is typically like what I do before training and after training, along with other stuff like rolling out and tape work and things like that. When you get hurt or when you have an injury going on, there's no reason to stop training, unless of course a doctor tells you to. But from my experience, it's very rare that a doctor will tell you to stop. Typically, I usually push the envelope a little bit, and doctors that I see know that I'm going to push the envelope. I try to train through things. Typically, that means doing a lot more mobility work, seeing a physical therapist, and nobody should ever be above seeing a physical therapist. It is, especially somebody that trains hard, trains CrossFit, trains strongman. Like when you're training really, really hard, you're putting your muscles through things that, I mean, let's face it, you're not used to. You could catch something wrong. We're not perfect. I wish we were, but even the best athletes get nagging injuries, aches and pains, and what have you. So the most important thing you can do is take care of yourself. And things like a massage gun makes it easier to have an injury, or more sustainable to have an injury that you can take care of by yourself at home before you go into training. It's very helpful. So I highly recommend it. This one in particular, I really like. It's clean. It's got like grip to it. It's easy to use. It charges really fast. I love anything USB related. So Bob and Brad, you guys did a great job on this. I'll put a little link for a discount below, and you guys can go check it out if you're interested. But definitely shoot me some comments. Let me know what you like, what you dislike about the video. You know, I'm always trying to do different things. I've shown you what the chiropractor looks like from my end. I've shown you what different doctors working on my body has been like. So I thought that this kind of at-home technique was a good idea. I hope you guys do too. And I will see you guys next time.